गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः नीलारविन्दसुहृदा सदृशं प्रसादे तुल्यं तथा महसि तोयजबाधवेन ब्राह्म्यां स्थितौ तु पितरं वटमूलवासं स्मारयन्तमचलन्तमनुस्मरामः under the guidance of the infinite.
Swamiji, you're not recording.
Doesn't matter. Because I got my phone on, so no problem. If you want me to do it, I'll do it.
Recording in progress.
So, under the grace of Bhagwan Ramana Maharishi, whose grace is as vast as the blueness of the sky, we culture our mind in such a way that we come to the self-abidance, which is our true nature, and with that we are in the 16th chapter on Bhakti, verse number 7. Devataya narashrestha No, we haven't done the 6th one yet. Or have we? We are done. Devataya narashrestha nama rupa prakalpanat. Devataya narashrestha nama rupa prakalpanat. ताभ्याम तु नाम रूपाभ्याम नाम रूपे विजेष्यति ताभ्याम तु नाम रूपाभ्याम नाम रूपे विजेष्यति टुगेदर देवताया नरश्रेष्ठ नाम रूप प्रकल्पनात् ताभ्याम तु नाम रूपाभ्याम नाम रूपे विजेष्यति नरश्रेष्ठ best among men, O best among men. He is addressing Vashishta Ganapati Muni, one who attributes names and forms to the deity. Devataya, to the devatas. Do what to the devatas? Nama Rupa Prakalpanat. Who gives, who here it says attributes, who takes them to be name and form, who superimposes name and form, who attributes to them the name, form, quality, specificity. Tabhyam tu nama rupabhyam nama rupe vijeshyati. Through those very names and forms transcends all names and forms. Tabhyam, such a one, nama rupabhyam nape rume vijeshyati. Vijeshyati wins over, reaches the ultimate destination, transcends. Through the name and form, you transcend the name and form. By thinking of sleep, you actually merge into sleep. Thinking of the self by mind, you go beyond the mind. that disposition is required. Jnaneshwar Maharaj is also saying the same thing. Adi Shankaracharya is also saying the same thing. Yena kena prakarena. So first, remember what was the vision given? First, the best student was told that he is already calm, cool, collected, focused, and he is focused on the self. That is the bhakti. Then second was told that whether one is desiring or not desiring, still they will reach the self, the true form of the self. Now the third stage. What is that? If someone, okay, in the fifth and the sixth verse, we had told about the dull-witted one who is afflicted by, and taking the world to be real, is afflicted by the consequences of taking the world, the relations, the possessions, the body, the breath, the mind, the intellect, the senses, and the entire gamut to be real. Then if you have taken such a person, if he has taken that real, there will be consequences, and he tries to find a way out of those consequences. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. So what is that tough get going? He runs to the Lord, he runs for Tirth Yatra, he runs and does more and more pujas and japa. For what? To get rid of the afflictions, to get rid of the obstacles that are uncalled but coming to him. Or he has invited and he wants to get rid. It can also be the afflictions of the mind. We told you last class, Adi Bhautik Tap, Adi Daivik Tap, and Adhyatmik Tap. The afflictions from those things which are in our control, like fire is in our control, we still burn our hand. We know we should not touch a live wire, but we touch the live wire. We know we should be careful with the knife, but we catch it from the blade end and cut ourselves. We know we should carefully keep the hammer, but we drop it on our toe. I can go on. So this is Adi Bhautik. Those things which are in our control, but we do not exercise that control and inflict pain on ourselves by way of the world. Adi Daivik, those afflictions which come to us unasked. Daivik, cloudburst, floods, corona, these are Adi Daivik. And Adhyatmik are within our mind. Our depression, our sadness, our incompetency, our lack of self-confidence, all this is within. No, I think I can't do it. If you keep saying that, then yes, you will not be able to do it. Oh, this is very difficult. If you keep saying it is very difficult, then it will be difficult. And yet, the data that you have in your life is whatever the challenge is from childhood onwards, you have overcome the difficulties, you have overcome the challenges. But as we grow up, we think we become smarter. But this is how we afflict, and then once sometimes regret, sometimes guilt, sometimes anxiety. Yesterday or day before yesterday, someone called, Swamiji, my friend is there, and that friend's daughter, she is saying that I want to commit suicide. What do you do? Before the brother wanted to commit suicide, he talked to me, saved. Saved means not I saved, but I said, all your problems are because of expectations. Stop expecting anything from your father, anything from your mother, anything from your sister, anything from the world? Are you earning? He says, yes. I said, stop expecting anything from anyone, that they should behave the way you want. Just accept everything. First, accept yourself as you are. I have these shortcomings and I want to be better. Now the sister is like that. So what? Because nobody has taught them how to think. Education system doesn't teach them. Parents don't teach them. They themselves are running like a chook without a head. And then they get married, then they have children and don't know what they don't. Their parents are so culturally ahead. But in the name of going against the parents, they don't follow anything. And now, when their children come, no transfer of any culture, no samskar. No love for the divine, not even taught how to function in the world. Everything, everything will happen by its own. What will happen by its own? Children did not happen by their own. You bloody created it. Created them. So such people of they pray to the deities, they pray to certain forms of that one divine. As I said, that divine has taken many forms. Whatever suits you, pick. The smorgasbord is there in front of you. And for what? For removing the afflictions. Yes, and you slowly, that was the third type, sorry. Now the fourth he is saying. What is that? The one who attributes names and forms to the deity, though through those very names and forms, transcends all the names and forms. So the previous one, in the fifth and sixth ones, the dull-witted one, initially he was holding on to the deities, he was holding on to the name and form and calling it the divine and having a relationship with that, even though that relationship is out of fear or out of surrender, out of sharanagati, out of not knowing what to do. Please help me to come out of the afflictions, problems. And as he goes, and once, if he keeps doing it, eventually it clicks in him. What? That who is this Lord? A natural affinity towards the Lord kindles within his heart. A natural love for the Lord, that anyone who has taken care of us, naturally we feel attracted towards that person. Naturally we feel the thoughts of that person come in our mind. Anyone who has helped us in our troubled times, anyone who has nursed us when we were sick, anyone who has fed us when we are hungry, even more so, he who has removed our problems by us remembering him, then a natural love gets invoked within the heart of such a person to know more about this Lord. Then such a person, the moment that kindles, automatically the teacher comes, the Puranas come, some leelas of that god or goddess, you become exposed to that. Things start happening by themselves. How by themselves? Because the whole universe is only a reflection of your mind. So you attract all that automatically. And as you hear the stories, like we are almost coming to the conclusion of Bhagavatam. So our love, our availability to Lord Krishna over last 12, 13, 14 years is much more. much more than when we were only doing remembering him once or twice a year, that too for removing our problems. See? So here he says, O best of men, one who attributes names and forms to the deity through those very names and forms transcends all the names and forms. Form is the quality of the fire principle, and sound is the quality of the which principle? Space. Is the quality of space. Space has got no form, air has got no form, fire is the first element where there is form. So name and form, everything that you are surrounded by names and forms, and absence of theirs also. So when in a traditional, why should I say traditional, from yoga point of view, what happens? When we go through dharana, dhyan, samadhi, samadhi is the result. But before samadhi happens, samadhi is, before the nirvikalpa samadhi happens, there are two types of samadhis and they are called savikalpa samadhi. And this savikalpa samadhi means nirvikalpa without thought, savikalpa with thought. And what are the thoughts? What are the two type of thoughts with which you can get samadhi? Form and name. Form is the lower one, name is the higher one, subtler one. Form is the grosser because fire element is gross compared to space. Space is finer, subtler. So when one becomes focused, single pointed, concentrated on the form of the Lord, such a person wants Sarupya Mukti. He becomes a Parshad in Vaikuntha, or he goes to Saket and he goes to Kailash. But remember one thing, you go to all these places, rebirth is guaranteed. You have to take birth again. Going to any lokas, any planes of existence, whether it is Kartikeya Lok, or it is Ganapati Lok, or it is Shiva Lok, or it is Ram Lok, or Vaikuntha, or you can, so many are there. Wherever you go, you have to come back. Once your punya, once your merit is over, come back. This is the traditional, or this is how, what do you call, we have studied. We have studied. This is how, well, it's how you interpret it, but this is how we were exposed, and I'm going to take you further than that. Some people get stuck there. They want to go to the loka, they want to become one with the name, form, and that's their destination. Some people, once they transcend the form, then what is the next frontier? The next frontier is the name. Form melts away. Once you become one, the contemplator on the form and the deity. If it is Krishna, for example, I am meditating on the form, on my lips is the name, and I am so at one ment with the form that I merge from the Chaturbhuj Narayan to the 2 feet of Narayan, and I dive into the 2 feet and become one with him. Or like Markandeya, sage Markandeya, he got sucked into the body of the small baby Narayan. Become one. Now you are available to the next one. What is the next frontier? The next frontier is the name. This can happen in a jiffy, or it can take lifetimes. Choice is yours, how you understand. With what understanding you approach the whole thing. If you keep saying, Vaikhari Madhyama Pashyanti Para. अरे बाप रे, अभी तक तो यार वैखरी प्यूरिफाई नहीं हुआ, आप कब पहुंचोगे, Parake beyond. Will it be possible in this lifetime? If you start entertaining this doubt, it will not happen. So, what is your conviction? Anyway, first let me explain this. Then you come to the sound. Sound is the name. Name is the quality of the space. When the chanter and the chanted name become one, come to at one ment, what happens? The mind becomes free. It has already become free of form. Now it becomes free of the sound also, or the name also. Then what is left behind? What is left behind after the name has also, the chanter and the chanted have become one? What happens when the sleeper, the waker, and the who wants sleep have become one? What happens? Then sleep ensues. So the meditator meditating upon the name of the divine, when they become one, then what happens? You are delivered. Then you are delivered. You are awake, because this process cannot happen when you are sleeping. You are awake, you are conscious, you are aware, your focus is very clear. And the last thought, the mantra, while you are chanting, I'm not going into the process of chanting, but the chanting leads you to the consummation. What will be the consummation? Till how long will the chanting continue? How long will the mantra continue? As long as there is disturbance available in the mind to distract. As long as there is some desire meaning thought, coming from the subconscious, wanting validity, wanting recognition, wanting your attention. Till then we have to keep chanting. Do you know when is the last one going to end? No. Whenever that happens, whenever, just like going to sleep, when the last thought of the day, waking state, leaves your mind, that very moment, the one who wants to sleep and the thought of sleep become one, and you get absorbed. Same thing happens. How long you will chant the mantra, the name of the Lord, of the deity, of the divine? As long as there is a possibility of some disturbance. Why have I not got much? Because there is still impurity left. Continue with more fervor, with more intensity. Then when that last vasana is neutralized, that very moment, and it is not last, I don't mean every one of them have to go. It is not, there is no straight answer in our scriptures. Everything is in it's a spontaneous combustion of all the vasanas. Spontaneous combustion of all the desires in one go. Because the heat of tapasya, the heat of chanting, the heat of focus, concentration is so much that they do not stand any chance. And if you want to use it the other way, that the desire is hot, then the coolness of meditation, the coolness of focus without any distraction, because single pointedness should not be, to sar dard ho jayega. It has to be calm, cool, collected, in the poise, yet chanting, remembering the name. In that coolness of the non-reactive environment in your mind, in your attention, that coolness pacifies all the heat, takes away the heat from the desire. If you want to put it that way. So hot or cold, it doesn't matter. Then when the last one is neutralized, that very moment, you who were taking the name of the Lord and the name become one. And there you are. There you are. If it is taking you into Nirvikalpa Samadhi, and you come out of Nirvikalpa Samadhi again to see the whole world again, daddy, mummy, दूध ले आओ, सब्जी खरीद लो. अरे यार, मैं तो अभी समाधि में था, अब ये कहाँ से आ गया? Am I dreaming? नहीं नहीं नहीं. I am standing in front of you. Go and bring milk. I am dreaming. Understand that it was only a what do you call, the purification was not complete, the annihilation of the desires was not complete, the melting of the personality, the I, was not complete. थोड़े पापड़ और बेलने पड़ेंगे. लगाओ. At least पहले, before we were remembering the Lord for removing the problems, at least then we remembered the Lord with the form, then we went beyond the form, now we are with the sound or the name of the Lord. Hey, improvement is happening, progress is there. Have faith that it will lead to self-realization or God realization. And God realization and self-realization is one and the same. It is not two separate events. Because for the individual, for the seeker, it is told that Lord alone is expressing as the self within. Because this idiot doesn't see that he is the axle of the whole creation. He is the center of the whole creation. So he has to be told, God, that God, he is functioning through you. And when he becomes one with the God, by a form or name, he lands up in himself, self-realization. No doubt. There cannot be any doubt. And the one who did not want to go in that direction, what we saw in the beginning of the chapter, he is directly going to the self. See? So prepare. And therefore, when we come to satsangs, why we keep studying the various texts, so that we keep refining our notions, we keep refining our convictions, conclusions, what that ultimate destination is. It's very simple, but this busy mind is there, no intellect. It is popping up continuously, it's popping up something or the other. And suddenly something sometimes catches and it takes you in the wrong website. you have to keep coming back, keep correcting it. You have to empty the cache. Cache or cache, whatever you call it. I will keep going in the old patterns. So therefore, with this, here he says, O best of men, Devataya Narashreshta, Nama Rupa Prakalpanat. And name and form is nothing but the imagination of the seeker, imagination of the person. All specificity. Form is also specificity. Name is also specificity. And what is specificity? Again, it is finite, it comes and goes. That which is conditioned, that which is limited, that which is not permanent, that is specific. Specific has contours. Specific has qualities, attributes. And who are you essentially? Non-specific self. Till our obsession with specificity does not wane, does not dissolve, till then you need the support of specific. It helps some people. And if some people think, no, I have understood everything. Yeah, I know I'm the body, but I'm also the self. If you have not given up body identification, it is not your experience. If you are still reacting, responding, getting agitated on account of heat, cold, comfort, discomfort, hunger, thirst, praise, insult, joy, sorrow, if you are still disturbed by these 8, body disidentification has not happened. So don't fool yourself. Again, it can happen in stages. First, I'm not disturbed by heat and cold. One siddhi. Then I'm not disturbed by hunger and thirst. Second siddhi. I'm not disturbed by joys and sorrows. Third siddhi. I'm not disturbed by praise and insult. Fourth siddhi. Now you are qualified. Whether you take it linearly, but understand the principle that is being brought out. See? So, O best of men, one who attributes names and forms to the deity through those very names and forms transcends all names and forms. And through these names and forms, we create the method, the Shodashopchar Puja, that is at the physical, very gross level. The worship is there. Then Upasana, that also takes names and forms. So it depends where you are. If you are considering I'm the body, I have to do something, you will do pujas, you will do even outside, you will do seva, you will do clean the ashram, clean the temple, build the temple, give donation. Little bit more refined, you will do puja, archa, morning till evening. See, hats off. I can't sit for puja for more than 1 hour. I haven't done. But look at these. Some of the priests I know, 2 to 3 pujas in a day, 3 hours long. What is the motivating factor? Question to be asked. Is it an opportunity to be engaged with the divine without any expectation? Is it to improve and help the Yajman in whose house the puja is happening? Is that the motivation? Is the motivation for what Dakshina is going to come? I'm not, they are wonderful people, all of them, all the pujaris, most of the pujaris that I know here. But what I am putting out is, what is the expectation? Are we doing it? See, one person is there and she learned how to do puja, and she came and she said, Swamiji, today I am going to do the first puja, please bless. This is many years ago, 7-8 years ago. So I said, okay, my blessing is only this. Why are you doing it? She says, to help the people. I said, why else you want to do it? Is it for money? No, I have got enough. Okay, very good. So you're not going to do it for money? No. But you will get. Are you going to charge for money? Yeah, I was thinking, because I'm giving my time 2-3 hours for the puja? I said, don't. You want to do puja? You do puja as a sadhana. That Bhagwan is giving you opportunity to remember him again and again. If it is once a week, twice a week, thrice a week, 7 days a week, it doesn't matter. That many more opportunity for you to remember, for you to be engaged, thinking about him, chanting his name, doing the various Shodoshopchar puja or Havan or Rudravishek or whatever. But don't expect anything in return. No, I'm going to take the money, but I'm going to give it to donate. I said, it's not your. You didn't create the creation to give it to anyone. Lord is taking care of his creation. You think about yourself. You ask for blessings. I'm giving you a principle. If you understand, good. Otherwise, who cares? That girl was not interested in puja, in Nam Jap or Vedanta, nothing. But now, 6, 7, 8 years later, then she got interested in chanting. Then she got interested in, started asking questions. What does Narayana Suktam mean? What does Purusha Suktam mean? What does this mean? What does that mean? Now her appetite was getting kindled, And as the answers came, and then she says, and then suddenly one day I see her on the Zoom listening to lectures. See, these things happen. Now, where did that person start from? From very gross. What are they understanding today? That person's attention from the God outside, from going to Kailash or going to Badrinath, from doing puja to Nam Jap. Nam Jap should not stop. Taking the name should not stop. Doing that. But her understanding about herself, who she is, what God is. See, these questions have to be resolved. Our creation means Jeev, Jagat, Ishwar. What is the relationship between Jeev and Jagat? What is the relationship between Jiva and Ishwara? What is the relationship between Ishwara and Jagat? And what sadhana I must follow in order to sort this out? If we are not moving in this direction, if we are not bringing a resolution about, then we are just swimming but reaching nowhere. Okay. So, as the growth happens, did they know that it was going to come to this point? No. But continuous engagement with the divine name, with the puja, with the chanting, with the satsang, continuously keeps refining us. We don't have to remember the entire lecture. Sometimes one word is enough, and it's enough to shift our standpoint completely. And most of you who I see here have shared with me sometime or the other how it has, this satsang or any satsang. And that is what must happen, and it will happen. We have to maintain our engagement with the satsang. And true satsang is when the mind is contemplating on the self. We saw in the beginning of bhakti. Now we are seeing the mind is involved with the name and form. How does it matter? Doesn't matter. Because the truth of the matter is that matter is nothing but in essence divine. The objects of the world, which we call as consciousness and matter, I am consciousness, that is matter, this body is matter. Matter is nothing. What is it made out of? What is the matter made out of? What is the space, air, fire, water, earth made out of? What are the trees, rivers, mountains made out of? What is the material? Is it some chemical? Or is it the divine material? if we have understood this part of, we have heard it, that divine alone is the creator of the creation, and that divine alone is the material out of which the creation is made, then the entire objective world is nothing but divine. Do we have the eyes to see the divinity in the husband who is sitting next to us? Do we have the eyes to see the divinity in the wife, in the children, in the people, in the criminal? Or are we lost in the form? Or are we lost in our imaginations? So technically, existentially, Jeev, Jagat, Ishwar are expressions of that one alone. See how beautiful it is. That one alone, just like you alone express as the waker, as the dreamer, as the sleeper. Don't you know that? Same way, Ishwar also knows that I alone am. He knows without knowing. You are expressing waker, dreamer, sleeper, and you acknowledge it only when I tell you. Other times you don't think about it. Ishvara also doesn't think about it. It is natural for him. It is his nature, just like sun's nature is to have heat and light. Ishvara's nature is to express as Jeev Jagat Ishwar. He can't not. It is his nature. And that Ishvara who expresses as Jeev Jagat Ishwar is the one who is throbbing, who is the essence of you, of the seeker, of the devotee. And if we can't see that Ishvara, who is formless, attributeless, which will be his true form, ठीक है, take the name and form, merge into the name and form, and it will deliver you to yourself. Realization of the Lord is not that I have gone to some Vaikuntha or you have come back to yourself only. In the truest sense. And thus, by the name and form, we transcend the name and form. By the name and form, we transcend the name and form. Continuing. भक्तौ तु परिपूर्णायां अलं श्रवणमेकदा ज्ञानाय परिपूर्णाय तदा भक्ति प्रकल्पते भक्तौ तु परिपूर्णायां अलं श्रवणमेकदा ज्ञानाय परिपूर्णाय तदा भक्ति प्रकल्पते. When bhakti has grown perfect, then hearing once about reality is enough, for it confers perfect knowledge. When bhakti has become perfect, what does it mean bhakti has become perfect? When it is paripakva, urvarukamiva bandhanat mrityormukshiyamamritat. When the pumpkin has ripened, right now I've got so many lemons outside. Every day go and check which lemon is ready. How do you know? Which naturally comes without any efforts, comes into your hand. Urvarukumeva. Cucumber, pumpkin, similar. When they are ripe, the mother plant leaves them. When you are ripe to be absorbed into the sleep, the world, the waking world withdraws from your mind. You don't leave it, you don't let it go. It withdraws from your mind because you are focused on the sleep. And when that becomes matured, the world withdraws. And the union with of what you were thinking, whatever the form was, with that is your union. See? So don't worry too much about realization. Keep the destination clear. That destination is already attained. Only purification is required. Only purification is required. Work on that. Work on that. For that, Jnaneshwar Maharaj told us, Vaikari Madhyama Pashyanti Para. For that, engage with satsangs. Not objectively, subjectively. Apply it. Be absolutely at poise when you are listening to satsangs. When you are listening to Upanishads. When bhakti has gone perfect means paripakwa. It is ripe. Then hearing once about reality is enough. And this example we told you. Nisargadatta Maharaj, only once he heard Tattvamasi, and it was enough. We don't know what he used to do. Maybe he was just doing the duty what he had to do, keeping his mind empty, not allowing anything to stick to his mind. With that prepared mind, he went to the satsang. Kaboom! I am that was the result. But when he heard you are that, he had no doubt that the teacher, why is he saying that? We have, because we are intelligent, we have studied so much, we give our mind so many options which are contrary to what the scriptures are saying. So it becomes an impediment. And therefore, to remove that impediment, purification is required. So do whatever suits you. If the wood is dry, one spark is enough. It will catch fire. But if in the wood there is moisture, you can bring the lighter and then you have to put karpur and then you have to. Then it may catch, sometimes it doesn't catch. Then more karpur. Then it seems as if it has caught the fire. Then again, because there is moisture inside the wood, again the fire starts subsiding. You put more karpur until a critical heat is created that the moisture in the wood is unable to diffuse the fire. You see? Same is our case. The moisture in the wood is the desires in our mind, the objectivity in our mind, the options in our mind. Dry them up. Which method is not important. Use the first one given here, second one, third one, it does not matter. Assess where you are first. There is no dearth of ways. But which path? Copy paste? No, it will not work. Find out where you are at this moment. Assess yourself. What is your natural inclination? What naturally, joyfully is expressing through you? pursue that. Not because you have imagined in your head Vedanta is high and Karma Yoga is, identification with body, therefore Karma Yoga. Maybe that is your truth. Start from there. But you are functioning at the karma body level, but thinking that I am an intellectual. हो गया फिर तो सत्यानाश. Very, very difficult to bring about resolution in such a mind. Because you are living at two opposite ends. You are something and you are believing yourself to be something. You are not imagining yourself to be intellectual. And same thing happens with japa also. Many people start doing japa only in their mind. They have not even started the Vaikhari or Madhyama. Only in their mind they are doing. Madhyama they are doing. They want to meditate. In Yoga Vashishta comes, meditation is not important. Meditation is a happening. Most important is how you live in this world. Are you living in this world and getting disturbed by thought, word and deeds of other people? Are you disturbing this world with your thought, words and deeds? If this is happening, you can never sit in meditation. And if you are saying that I am sitting in meditation, it's your own imagination. It's not meditation. Where can you go run away from the world and sit in silence, is it? We have to discover that we are of the state of meditation, ever in that poise, ever at one ment with Jiv Jagat Ishwar at any given moment. That is our disposition. That is our natural state. Not run away from the world and sit in meditation. When meditation is a willful act, it will lead to some other consequences. When meditation is a natural glide, a natural pull from within because of correct living, correct thinking, correct interaction with the world, then a natural pull will come. Then you don't have to think, oh, it's 10 o'clock, I have to sit in meditation. Satyanas. ऐसे थोड़ा ना होता meditation. Meditation is not a military drill, regimented. In yoga they say you should get up at this time, you should do it at this time, you should eat at this time, you should drink water at this time. Everything is regimented. चलो अच्छा है, follow that. Something better than nothing. And begin तो करो. यार बड़ी जल्दी टाइम खत्म हो रहा है. आई एम नॉट यूज्ड टू 1 hour lectures. 1.5 hour ठीक लगता है. This is already over. See, what is the culmination of devotion? When we merge into our beloved, when we merge into our when we merge with whom we are devoted to, what happens? What is the culmination of love? What is the culmination of union? Devotion means love here. So the devotee and the devoted, when they become one, what happens? Knowledge comes about. Knowledge comes about. And in the first devotee, who was directly contemplating on the self, when he comes to know the self, then what happens? Love for everyone comes about, because everything is self alone, natural, unconditional, uncaused love towards one and all. See? So whether you follow the direct path to the self, to your true form, or you take a support of a form and merge into that form, still you will reach the true form alone. Still you will reach the true form alone. Important is start. We don't start. We collect information. We have to start. Start like there is no tomorrow. Let there be urgency. Let there be a thirst to unite, to be, to purify. This incomplete knowledge that we have about ourselves, that I am only this body, that I was born, let it be dissolved, and in its place the complete knowledge of who we essentially are. Let that come forth. So if a person, and when he said that when a person who is Uttam Adhikari, if he has by himself never come across any teacher, never come across any master, any scripture, but he has been doing his sadhana, just remembering the Lord, living a simple life, not expecting, not disturbing. Many people are like that. When by grace, by divine will, they come across a master, they come across a scripture, immediately they are on fire. The knowledge takes place there and then. Ramchandra ji, when he went to the school, Gurukula, to sage Vashishta, he studied. Within 3 days, he mastered all the scriptures. 3 days. Then what to do? Sage Vashishta said, man, you are so good. Now you teach your brothers. I'll take a holiday. You are good. Yet that Ram, who was so focused, so single pointed, so uncomplicated in his mind, he could grasp all the scriptures. That same Ram, when he graduated from the school, came back home, father sent him and his brothers for a tour to show off, these are my sons, and to the sons, see what land you rule. And they went around the whole Ayodhya. The other brothers were doing different acts of charity and everything, but Ramchandra ji was visiting all Mahatmas, going to ashrams, having satsangs. And when he comes back, such an intelligent one, such a focused one, went into depression, didn't take bath, didn't eat food, didn't open the door of his chambers for 10 days. He comes out only when Vishwamitra comes and says, I want your sons to come with me. But Ramchandra ji is not coming out, then Vishish ji goes. When Guru Maharaj comes, he has to open. They take shower, come out. And then the Yoga Vashishta begins. And by the end of the 32,000 verses, just like the doubt of Arjuna was over after 700 verses of the Gita. Similarly, after the yoga interaction, the question and answer between Ram and sage Vashishta, and all the cobwebs, all the wrong conclusions, once he had studied, that was studying, that was a Gurukul. But now he was contemplating after having met all the Mahatmas, and he lost the plot. What? I don't want to live anymore. Like that kid I'm telling you, doesn't want to live anymore. It happens in everyone's life. We come to that threshold. I've got a whole life in front of me. Now itself I'm struggling. Whole life I have to struggle. I think I must have also thought and took the sannyas path. Only to realize it is even to be alert and vigilant on this path requires more energy than living at the worldly level. Now I'm just making it. See? So when Arjuna heard it once, all doubts cleared, all misunderstandings over. Ramchandraji heard it once from sage Vashishta as a seeker. In the Gurukul he was a student. Here he is a seeker. All doubts, cobwebs, misunderstanding, contradictions all over. Parikshit Maharaj, first time he asks, what should a person do in his last, when he has got only 7 days left to live? Shukdevji Maharaj speaks. 7 days later, all doubts, misunderstandings, contradictions, cobwebs clear. Realized. Are we in that position? Can we say we are that available like Ramchandraji? Oh, he is Ram. He is God. Who told you? He is a historical fact. He was a person. Oh, but then it is God who has taken. But God alone has taken birth as you also. Why are you? Just as he took birth as Krishna and Rama and everyone, those were special. But he was also born. He also perfected himself. Why don't you perfect yourself? So many saints and sages have come to birth like you have. They have perfected themselves. We want to पतली गली से अपने आप को बचा लेना चाहते हैं. नहीं, I think his पूर्व जन्म संस्कार, I think this or his that. अरे, wherever you are, you come. You are already that which you are seeking. Devotion means applying yourself to that true form or to that divine form continuously, Taila Dharavat, without any interruptions, without any distractions. And what will be the result? You will know. What you will know? That I alone am. And how will you know? Without a thought. No, but then will I not say? Whom will you say it to? Everyone is you. Everything is you. In fact, you alone are. Will it not be lonely? Get there and find out and tell us. All imaginations. Get there first. Is it not lonely in sleep? You are all by yourself and don't even know that you are by yourself. You don't complain about that. We are very, very creative in coming up with what if, but this, that. लग जाओ बस पीछे. तैल धारावत. कंटिन्यूइंग. क्या टाइम हो गया? कितने वर्सेस बाकी हैं अभी? अब आगे का काम ही है. ओके, विल मीट एट 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock है ना कि 3:30 है?
3:30 है स्वामी जी.
3:30 to 4:30 बोला था ना? हाँ,
yeah.
ओके, 3:30 विल मीट. ओम पूर्णमदा पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरिः ओम. श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. हरिः ओम. Few moments silence. हरि ओम.